here is a great example of an analogous design. Now, using the powers of Photoshop, I'm going to show you how this same design might look different with some different colors. So first I'm going to go down to my adjustment layers. I'm going to use the hue saturation adjustment layer, and I'm going to move this hue saturation slider. And here are some different color schemes, but we're using the same picture. And notice these are all analogous designs as well. This picture uses blue and some cyan, and this is going more into the blue-violet realm of colors. And now we're going away from violet and blue, and we're slowly starting to get into magenta and violet, and now we're moving into red, magenta, and violet, all colors that are kind of right next to each other on the color wheel, right? Now, this is a collage that's an example of an analogous color scheme. And I like this because this is a practical design project. This shows you that you can do some color theory projects without a computer at all, just using materials that you find around the house and creating your own artwork using scissors, using glue, using crayons and paints. You can create some interesting designs as well. Now let's take a look at how we could make this very simple design an analogous design. So as we did before, we colorized this using a single color. Now I'm going to colorize it using 2 or more colors. I'm going to go down to my adjustment layer icon at the bottom of my layers window, and I'm going to click on the gradient map. The gradient map is going to allow me to choose 2 colors, 2 or more colors. And so what I'm going to do is choose colors that are next to each other on the color wheel. And I'll start with this blue, orange, yellow, orange color here, because orange and yellow are next to each other on the color wheel. But I'm going to change this by double clicking on one of my stops and choosing red, because I want to show that this is going to be an analogous color scheme. So I'm going to add a little bit of red there, and then maybe I'll add one more. I'll add a kind of reddish orange. How about that? Very good. I'll just move this slider around until I get kind of something kind of interesting. That looks good. Okay, so now I have this design using an analogous color scheme, but maybe I'm not thrilled with this choice of colors. That's where hue and saturation can be so useful. Again, I'm going to throw another hue saturation adjustment layer onto my design, and then watch, I can move the slider around until I get an analogous color scheme that I like. Isn't that interesting? Now you can do the same thing with photos. Before, my photo was kind of purple, monochromatic. Now I want to add 2 or more colors to this photo. So I'm going to go down to my gradient map again. Same as before, gradient map adjustment layer. And just like I did on the design, I'm going to choose a gradient map. Isn't that kind of fun? Might be a little too far. I'm going to make the yellow more down there, and I'm going to make it go from dark red to a kind of a reddish orange. all the way to yellow.